Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for being here. Hello to Gosu in the chat. Hope everybody's having a good Monday. And let's kick off the week with some theory crafting in Rise of Kingdoms and some account progression. Now, right off the bat, I will say that one of the nice things about doing YouTube or just doing anything a little bit outside your comfort zone is you do learn new things. I have been using a personal computer for a long time, decades, 6 or 7 presidencies, and I never knew how to use the keyboard to zoom in and out of chat. And I don't see the chat too well on the default settings, but with ChatGPT, with the power of ChatGPT, actually, I already forget how to do it, but I've got it open. Yeah, control and zoom. Look at this. Look at this. I never knew how to do this. I never knew how to zoom in on the chat. So now I can actually read the pop-out chat. So this stream is already a win. Do throw a like on the stream if you're just getting in. That will help bring more people around. And so look, the plan today is to do my legendary commander swaps and to do any armament conversions that I want to do. We'll go over the armament conversions. We'll talk through what the strategies are. And I may or may not use my 10 conversion stones. But let's do the commander swaps first. Let's actually just go ahead and get these done because I'm the kind of person who forgets to do a lot of events. Like, I am a very forgetful person. I do stuff at the last minute. Last Friday, I forgot to register us for Ark of Osiris. I've never done that in my life, but I forgot to register us for Osiris. I set the team. I didn't actually, pick the time slot. So let's get the commander swaps done because there's only a couple days left, and I really am that procrastinating person who might actually forget. All right, so here's the plan. Here's the plan with my commanders. I am going to first and foremost get Arthur. I will get Arthur. And I'm going to pair him with Huo. My Huo is not done yet, but I'm going to have Huo done by our KVK in a couple weeks. So first and foremost, I'm a Cav player. I am going to build Arthur. Now let me very quickly go over how you actually do the commander swap. Okay, I might have to spend a little bit. That's fine. I can buy some stuff off screen. So yeah, I have to get the 2 commanders to 2111. So let me go ahead and do that. Let me go ahead and get Arthur to 2111. So yeah, the plan is just to pair Arthur with Huo, and maybe down the road I'll use Arthur as a primary with combo damage. The sense I'm getting is that if you do have a good combo damage set or delta formation set, then you probably will do well with an Arthur primary. But I'm not there yet. I don't have any real delta formation set. Although I will show it to you. I will show you my delta formation set, and I'll even show you kind of how to organize your armaments, or one sort of very simple way to organize your armaments so you make sure you're not recycling anything that you need. And we will do that once we swap old Arthur here. He's simply getting good, reports in KVK. People who have used him in KVK have said good things about Arthur, so we're not going to think about it too hard. We're just going to swap to him. Knight says, hold on, did Popo migrate? Popo actually quit Rise of Kingdoms, unfortunately. Popo, kind of similar to Addy, actually just decided that He wanted to spend his time doing other things, basically. Just sort of used to have a lot of fun in the game, and now it sort of became a chore to him. I think it was really just the fact that Addy left and some other players left. I think Popo was like super, super happy in 770, and I think Addy leaving like was a pretty, you know, big surprise to him. So, okay, so listen, I've got as an old school account, I have a bunch of commanders that I can swap, which is wonderful. I'm doing Freddy and El Cid. Yes, my plan is to swap Freddy and El Cid. So let's just do Freddy first. Won't miss this guy at all, barely used him. He's not even really good in the Siege of Orleans to transfer his skills, so let's just go ahead and get a maxed Arthur. Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. Yeah, not Addy from GT, Addy Navo, the king of 770. He retired a couple weeks ago. And so we're just sort of trying to recover from that and seeing what the future holds. But we're all getting very excited by the shiny objects in front of us and all the like very cool ways that we're able to progress our account basically for free. Am I doing this right? Like, oh, I guess I can hit preview, right? Yeah, okay, so it'll use 7. Oh, how do I get these? Sure. Okay, so I can buy all these. Let me just buy all these right now. Okay. So yes, I'll get a maxed Arthur for my maxed Freddy. I like this deal. I take this deal every day of the week. And well, we'll talk about my second swap in a minute here, Knights. So yeah, let's just go ahead and do this. 72 tickets. Maxed Arthur. Hell yes. Hell yes. Maxed Arthur, just like that. The greatest event in the history of Rise of Kingdoms going on right now. Make sure you log into your accounts. Wake up your dormant accounts. And take advantage of this amazing offer. Okay, so now we're going to need to buy the Fresh Face bundle, obviously. I think I have enough, actually. I think I might have enough currency. Let me hit this again. Why is it not letting me buy? Okay, so the game actually seems kind of bugged at the moment. Oh, there we go. It's just lagging. All right, so I got 60. And I assume that I will need... I assume I will need 12 more, because that one costs 72. So this one's probably also going to cost 72. We'll just buy this again. We had just enough currency. Check my second swap first. Okay, so here's my second swap. I mean, I kind of went a few different directions with this. I thought about it for a while. I guess the obvious one would be Huo, because I don't have Huo yet. But here's the thing about my Huo. My Huo is quite progressed, right? I'm basically halfway done with Huo already. And I've got the gems to do a full wheel spin of Huo. Oh, gimme! Yes, we will definitely accept Gimme into the alliance. Not sure what Gimme is up to with that, but definitely happy to let Gimme back 7-7 or in HDS. So, who's on the wheel now? Okay, it's just these guys. So I could build Huo, but he's already progressed. That doesn't seem like a very good use of the swap event. Yeah. Now I could go, and so that leaves me with Ragnar and Philip. I think the best commanders to build with this swap event are going to be Lucci, if you don't have him already, Arthur, Philip, and Ragnar. Okay, I think those are like the 4 best open field commanders in the game. If you're a rally lead or a garrison lead and you really need something, like if you need Scipio Emilianus or you need CY, go ahead and use swaps for that. But for like most players, for open field stuff, it's going to be Lucci, Arthur, Ragnar, and Philip. And so for me, basically right now, I have 2 infantry marches, right? I've got, and I've got a wedge set and I've got an arch set, right? So, well, it's a little bit, my marches are a little bit different now, but in KVK, what I use is I run Gorgo, Lucci, which with my arch formation, and then I run Guan, good old Guan Yu, and Scipio with my wedge set, right? Now, in the last KVK, I don't have, you know, official data, but my sense was that the Guan Yu Scipio did a little bit better than the Gorgo Lucci. For me, Guan Yu Scipio still does really, really well. But I could build Ragnar and bench the Guan that's been around for years and years and years. I could bench the Guan and run Ragnar Scipio, super good wedge formation. Or I could bench the Gorgo and run Lucci Philip, right? Lucci primary, Philip secondary. And even my chat is a little bit going back and forth, right? Gosu says, Philip, no brainer. Cyrus says, get Ragnar, then you don't need Philip. HTT says, my Ragnar skip is so slow, might actually be slower than Guan Scipio. Ultimately, I'm probably going to build both anyway, but I'm going to hold my gold heads for the moment just to see if I need to build Subutai. I don't really want to build him. I don't see myself being a rally lead or a garrison lead in the future, but you know, for now, I'm going to leave that option open because I've got some. You know, I have a lot of gold heads. I've got over 1,000 gold heads, so I can max the Huo and I can max another commander after this. Look, at the end of the day, I have heard very good things about Philip. You know, I was watching Plato stream briefly because honestly, their Kingsland was pretty boring in 1960, but I heard Redline say that his Lucci Philip was doing really, really well in the field. So I was like, all right, that's kind of all I need to hear, right? Like someone who was just using this march, you know, just using this march a couple days ago against tough competition. If Lucci Philip is working for Redline, then I'll just go with Lucci Philip myself. It looks like Whisper saying Lucci, Alex, and Ragnar Scipio are the 2 best pairs. I think. Well, so I don't have Alex. I don't have Alex, right? I don't have Alex. And I'm not going to use a commander swap to get Alex, right? So I don't know. To me, Philip looks good, right? In the future, I probably will be running 5 or 6 open field marches pretty regularly. I think I'm going to become an open field player. And so he's buffing everyone around him with damage resistance and damage bonus. If he's running with Lucci, he's going to get 35% infantry defense and 20% march speed. So like this second skill is an above average second skill, you know, especially on, you know, infantry, for example, where you're getting that 35% defense, you're getting that 20% march speed. That's just really, really good. Natsu, welcome to the stream. HDT, not sure if I said hello. Welcome to you as well. Natsu wants me to spin the Philip wheel. I don't think I need to spin the wheel if well, I guess I could spin the wheel and get a second skill, right? Because I need to bring him to 2111. On the 3rd skill, Scipio gets 30% damage bonus. Like just it's 30% all damage with Lucci. Again, really good. On the 4th skill, whenever this commander launches a basic attack, it has a 10% chance to deal direct damage to up to 3 nearby enemy troops. This is amazing with Lucci because Lucci does get extra basic attacks. So it's just has the chance to proc this 4th skill more often. And so it's like an AoE proc. And then you get another proc basic damage attack on this 2nd skill. Actually, that's not true. You don't get a this doesn't synergize with Lucci. But still, you can get more active skills on Philip, and you can get more active skills on Lucci, which, as a reminder, Lucci's first skill is freaking amazing, right? Like, Lucci's first skill has that AoE slow, is an AoE 40% March speed reduction slow. This skill is maybe the most impactful skill in the open field, right? Because, you know, a year ago, or 14, 15 months ago, before Lucci came out, people were not talking about March speed all the time. People were not saying, you know, put everything into boots, level up all your level 5 boots. It's only when Lucci came into the game and started dropping this March speed reduction all over the battlefield that people started saying, oh, you have to get level 5 boots, you have to speed up all these marches. So, you know, pairing Lucci with Philip, and just, it's almost like a debuffing march. It's going to be a march that trades well and also does incredible debuffs and buffs. Buffs your own troops and does rapid fire debuffing of the enemy troops with this Lucci skill. Knight says, in my opinion, Philip is way more versatile than Honda and buffs better than Trajan. Roast me if I'm wrong. The other thing about Philip, right, is that he is versatile, right? So I don't quite know what direction I'm going to go with my account. If I do become like a pure open field player and I expand to 6 marches, right now I'm at 5 marches. If I expand to 6 marches, Philip gives me that flexibility where I could pair him, you know, with whatever troop type I decide to go to 3-2. I mean, I probably would build a 3rd Cav march. And, you know, maybe Philip fits in there somewhere. Although Philip is not quite as good with cavalry just because he gives attack. He gives attack to cavalry on this 2nd skill, and attack with cavalry is like not that important. You'd rather have defense or you'd rather have health. Yeah, Whisper, I'm surprised Whisper doesn't know this. Whisper is in 1090. Whisper's in 1v. Yeah, we registered HA as well, Whisper, so we're hoping if anybody from Lilith is out there, we would like to be in a camp with 1v in this heroic anthem matchmaking. We're not going to be overpowered. Like 770 has seen better days. So yeah, Whisper, hopefully we link up. All right, so let me go ahead and do this other commander swap. I will spin the Philip wheel actually, because it would just be nice to get a little bit of value. How do I want to do this? Do I want to save a few frigging gems? I don't have to spin this wheel. I could just use gold heads. We're just gonna build Kuh. We're building Philip today. I'm not min-maxing like that. So yeah, let's level up Philip's 2nd skill. By the way, can anybody tell me how to can anyone tell me how to oh shoot, I didn't turn this on. Thank you to whoever just subscribed. Can anyone tell me how to get like three commanders per row here? I haven't figured that out yet. Oh, this is Pyrus. Well, yeah, let me just grab 9. Let me just grab 9 heads here, I guess. You know what? I am gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to spin this wheel, and we're not gonna swap Philip today. We'll swap him tomorrow. What am I saving by waiting till tomorrow? I'm saving like I'm saving a free spin. I'm saving like 1,200 gems if I do it tomorrow. All right, let's build Philip. Let's build Philip. I'll be honest, the way I think through these like min-maxing gem stuff is like, I think about how much time I spend doing certain activities. Like I send my marches out to gather 20 gems at a time. So like wasting 1,200 gems just to do something on stream is kind of like, it seems like a bit of a waste of time when you put it in that perspective. But actually 1,200 gems is like very, very little money. So it's fine. No, today's not the last day. Today's not the last day. But I'm definitely not going to wait till the last day because I would just hate to like make a huge mistake here. It's fine. It's fine to get it done. You know? So, welcome to the stream. Good to have you here. Zizzo, welcome to the stream. Nice to have so many current and former 770 members hanging out. As we progress the account, we're swapping commanders. We're maybe converting armaments. We're going to go over the whole armament thing. The armament conversion thing. And I'm also going to send an Alliance mail right after this stream about commander swaps and about armament conversions, just so everybody sort of knows what to do. Oops. Don't want that. I don't know about the rest of you, but I don't even buy like the gold stars from the mysterious merchant anymore. I have so many. I've got 8,000 of them. I'm just never gonna run out. So I don't even buy the I don't even waste the like wood or food to buy these gold stars anymore. Old account problems, obviously, but you know, whatever. All right, so now Philip is all set as well. Let's go ahead and swap Philip. Yeah, Constantine's going to survive. Constantine is still in my lineup. Caesar also survives because Caesar is very fast, and Caesar gets used for speed marches in Arc. We could get rid of Charles, but Charles has a very good skill for Orleans. And so we're going to keep Charles. Same thing with Khan. Khan is just my worst build ever, probably. But he has good skills for the Siege of Orleans map. Saladin's not done, so we can't do Saladin. El Cid is who we're going to do. We could also do Theo, but Theo, again, has good skills for Siege of Orleans. And if I was like an insane barb chainer where I was like chaining 4 marches at a time, then I guess I would use Theo for that. So we're getting rid of El Cid. Good old El Cid. Natsu got Arthur and Phil as well. HDT got Ragnar and Arthur. No, I don't have Honda. Sosa got Suleiman. You know, controversial choice by Sosa to go with the Suleiman. We tried to talk him out of it, but the man has a mind of his own. And here is Philip. Let's do the preview, make sure we're doing this right. We've got the 72 commander swap tokens. We're grabbing Philip as well. This is amazing. This event is crazy, man. This event is so crazy. HDT, thank you for the super chat. Very much appreciate it. Sid does have decent Orleans skills. He does. He does have good Orleans. It's why did I think one of his was better? Yeah, this one, Unyielding, is like a very good. It looks like a butt. That pineapple does look like a butt. This skill is very good. This skill is very good. If the commander's troops has less than 50% units remaining, it deals 5% more damage and gains 25% more damage and gains 5% march speed. There's really nothing else I can get rid of, though. That's the thing. I mean, his skills are kind of better than Khan, right? I mean, for open field, Khan's skills are better. For rally and garrison, El Cid's skills are better. The thing is, I just think I'm going to be more of an open field player in the future. Like, I think I'm going to spend a little bit less. I mean, if I stay at 770, I'm going to be more of a garrison player. If I leave, I'll be less of one. It's very up in the air right now. My future plans are very up in the air. And this is kind of where it... I mean, I could get rid of Theo. It would be painful to get rid of. But the thing is, I sometimes use Theo in like Arc. Like I'm sometimes running like 4 garrisons in Arc, and so I actually will throw a Jan Theo into my teammate's Cav rally because it's like a one. Like Theo's fine with 1 troop type, so I actually use Theo. That's the thing. I use Theo. Yeah, there's nothing else I could really... I mean, I could get rid of Takeda. I could get rid of Takeda, but no, I'm not going to do that. Caesar's good for... You know what I should do is I should check how many heads of these commanders I have, actually. Because obviously I can re-max these commanders at some point, right? So let's see how many heads. So I've got... Look at how many Charles Martel... Listen, this problem is not a big deal. I can just re-max Charles, right? I've got 1,100 Charles heads. This is from the fact that I used gold heads to max Charles at the beginning of the game. So yeah, I'll just get rid of Charles. Easy. Yeah, I'll just get rid of Charles. Yep. Simple. Thank you all for going through that with me. Thanks, JF, for saying that did have some decent skills. Yeah. Yep. All right. Good. This is why the live stream actually helps me make better decisions. All right, so we'll get rid of Charles. We're going to do Philip here. Incredible event. It's kind of a it's like a long-term loyalty reward, this event. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's get Philip. This action cannot be undone. GG. Philip in the mix. Part of my repertoire. We get the Philip, we get the Arthur. All we have to give up is the Frederick. Pretty awesome event. It's crazy. If someone is AFK and no longer playing, they're gonna miss this event. The other people who are gonna miss this event are people who have just started playing now. So like everyone's account is now so much more powerful, like substantially more powerful, having like 2 brand new commanders that we can all use. None of us are progressing. Well, two groups are kind of being hurt by this, right? New players who have not started the game yet are probably being a little bit hurt by this, although I think they will have a swap when they enter Season of Conquest from now until time immemorial, so they're not being hurt too much. The other group that's actually being hurt by this are whales. Like, big whales are being hurt by this because big whales have so many gold heads that they max commanders like Arthur and Philip immediately. It's really the middle of the pack active player base that's being helped by this event. Massive loyalty reward event for us, and you know, I'm here for it. It's a great event, very exciting. Let's go ahead and remax. Go ahead and remax Charles. Actually, go ahead and remax. Good old Charles Martel still being used. I mean, Charles got run. Listen, if you're someone who does not have a ton of Charles heads, definitely don't swap Charles, because Charles still gets used a ton. He's being used now in counter rallies in the King of All Britain KVK. You get a ton of counterattack damage in that KVK from the stratagems. And so like Attila Charles rallies or counter rallies were like a very big thing in King of All Britain. They will continue to be a big thing in King of All Britain. So yeah, Charles, yeah, whatever, who cares? I had so many Charles heads, we just maxed him right back. Sometimes it's nice to be old school. All right, so those are the commander swaps. They're both secondaries. Let me go ahead and do Canyon real quick. Let me put my gear on all the marches. The only question is, who do I pair Philip with in Canyon? had enough CC to remax him too. That's true. I probably should have kept Frederick as well. Yeah, you're right. I should have done CC actually, because I don't have very many Freddy heads. Oh well. Oh well. All right, so we got a ways to go on Freddy here. Oh, so it looks like Gimme just migrated. Let's see where Gimme went. Gimme also went to 1592. A group of our players did migrate to 1592. So Gimme is going to be really, really missed. Gimme was a very good player, super active on voice. Like very good. Gimme seems like someone who's played a lot of video games before, because he was just very, very good at Rise of Kingdoms. Great communication, knew what was important for winning wars. So yeah, Gimme's gonna be like really, really missed. We had a group of very, very good players and leaders migrate to 1592 recently. So it looks like Gimme went with them as well. But I knew Gimme was migrating because I had a farm account over here in the start zone. Like I had a farm account that I hadn't teleported after our last KVK, and my farm account was literally right next to Gimme and his farm. His main account and his farm were right next to my farm, so he hadn't teleported out of the start zone since our last KVK ended. So yeah, knew that was coming, but very sad to see Gimme go. All right, so for Canyon, Seba says Natsu killed 770. They left quick. They did leave quick. I think they picked a very good kingdom. If you were gonna pick a new kingdom to go to, I would pick a kingdom like 1592, where it's mainly a Korean kingdom, and then you just supplement that kingdom. They did leave quick though. They did leave quick. All right, so I guess I would run Scipio Philip, because right now I'm running Lucci Constantine in Canyon. I think I would run Scipio Philip, right? I think that makes a decent amount of sense. Where's my Scipio? Here we go. Okay, so Scipio has that. Scipio has the armaments, right? Yep, Scipio's got the armaments. Nevsky all set. I'm just setting up my Canyon lineup. I just want to run some Canyon with these new commanders. Yeah, we got to set up Nevsky. Boom. We don't have the Huo yet, so we're going to have to run... Oh, man. My team is still very scuffed, actually. My Canyon team is still very, very scuffed. We're going to still run XY in Canyon. XY with Arthur, I guess? Instead of XY with William? Seems fine. Seems good. Seems like an upgrade. Alright, so let's see who we lost to recently. Like, we lost to Six. We lost to Marvel. I didn't necessarily have gear on all these marches, but... We lost to Vita. We lost to Six. We lost to LV1 and Marvel. Let's just try to fight one of those players with our new team. And see how we do. There's LV1. He might be tough. Let's try LV1. We'll take a shot at him. Yeah, Whisper Addy quit. He retired. I mean, we won a KVK. We won our last KVK. And then... I mean, maybe Guan should stay. Maybe Guan should stay in Canyon. I mean, Guan's got to be an amazing Canyon commander. But I would think that Philip is quite good also. So I could put like one... Actually, one unit type is better. So, okay. All right. Only Farmer, welcome to the stream. Good to have you here. Yeah, Whisper, he really did leave for a life change. It wasn't like an event forced him out or anything. He just felt like the game was taking up too much of his time, and he didn't really like what the game was, you know, the person that the game was turning him into in real life. You know, Addy's like pretty mature for, he's like in his mid or late 20s, but he's like always been like a pretty mature dude. So I think he just sort of made a good life choice. He was just putting so much into this game. I do feel a little bit bad that how do we want to do this? Something like this. How do we want to do this? I want to wreck this Nevsky for sure. Seems okay-ish. Let's. You know, I feel bad in the sense that maybe there's a way we could have taken more off of Addy's plate over the last year, and then maybe he wouldn't have burnt out and decided to make this, you know, pretty significant change. The thing is, like, I put into the game what I'm able to put in. Like, I started a business a year ago. I stepped down as a leader a year ago. So I'm beating LV1 here. Like, LV1 beat me. He's ranked 11th. But with this new ARC team, I'm actually beating him now in Canyon. So that's pretty good. That is pretty freaking good. So I'm in my 40s. Is the music still going? Remember the music. Oh, I think my playlist ended or something like that. Yeah, the last live stream I did, the music cut out in the friggin' middle of it. I didn't even notice. And I've got the volume on just high enough to notice it this time. So yeah, I mean, there might have been a way to avoid Addy quitting, but I don't think. I don't know. I mean, I could have done a little bit more in the last year, but not really. I give this game what I can, honestly. So, all right, let's just try to hit Yuli here. Let's see how this does. This might be a pretty rough one, but actually, it looks like I can match up quite well against Yuli here. Let's give this one a try. I've never been very good at Canyon. And obviously, I'm still using XY instead of Huo. So I could get even better at Canyon. I guess against Yuli, I match up well because Yuli's got 2 Archer Marches. And Yuli's an Archer player. Definitely expertise Huo. Huo's going to be one of my... Huo, I will finally have Huo in the next KVK. For those who are longtime viewers of the stream, they might remember a rather drunk stream I did one night. It was kind of like a scuffed stream. I think we had just lost a big KVK or something. And I was like starting to max Huo, and then Algebra was like, new Cav commanders are coming out, you should maybe wait. And so I decided to not max Huo at that time. But I was like, I put like 150 gold heads into Huo and then stopped. I think that was correct in retrospect. It was correct in retrospect in the sense that I was able to build Eleanor as soon as she came out. It was incorrect in retrospect because Eleanor is terrible. And like, I didn't even need to build Eleanor. I almost regret building Eleanor. I also beat Yuli. Let's see how high up I can get in this canyon. Like, who can I beat here? I can't beat Uni. Oh, Marvel's #1 in Canyon? All right, let's see how we do against Marvel. Oh, yeah, Yuli's the Archer account. That's what I said, right? I said Yuli was an Archer account. All right, so Marvel's a little bit rough, but actually we can just go... Just put these two here and do something like this. Seems pretty good. See how this one does. I just never focus on Canyon at all. I just click through it pretty quick. I set a very easy defense so that I can get all my wins. For me, it's just about the rewards. I can't say I get the people who are really into Canyon. Yeah. Seems like a pretty boring part of the game to me. I get that there's some theory crafting here, and you can... The only thing I'll say that's good about Canyon and people who are obsessed with Canyon is that they do seem like the people who are pretty good at understanding commanders. You know, like Chisgul, for example. Chisgul is really into Canyon, and I was like super impressed with how Chisgul was able to break down the new Cav rally commander like really quickly, and he was like, oh, maybe this will work with Bertrand. Like Chisgul somehow knew what Bertrand's skills were. I was kind of like, wow. All right, so I just beat the #1 guy. I just beat #1 in Canyon. How high can I go? I can beat Krina. I'm sure I can beat Krina. I have to like do it like this. All right. So 6th is in 6th. Let's kill 6 as well. I'm confident against 6. Algebra, welcome to the stream. Good to have you here. All right. This looks... How do we want to do this? Let's do it like this, like this. Okay. We're just ripping through the Canyon lineup. The depleted 770. I may be a better Canyon player than ever before. We'll see. We'll see. So he's got the Lucci Alex and the Ragnar Scipio. So his, you know, he's got like the meta open field infantry commanders. But I've got the Constantine, which is better for Canyon. And he's got a second... Oh, he's got the William Wallace Mulan in Canyon. Very interesting. Looks like 6 is doing... No, look, my Nevsky Joan is just ripping apart this Canyon lineup here. Are we #1 Canyon? Are we #1 Canyon player in 770 right now? Did we just become the #1 Canyon player in 770? Holy crap, man. Holy crap. We're beating everybody. Do I want to take on White Castle? We'll wait till the end to play White Castle. Let's go against Benz. I doubt I can beat Uni. I doubt I can beat Uni. I mean, this is a good upgrade for me for sure, because, you know, it's like a garrison and rally player. I've always been behind on my open field. I've always been behind. So this allows me to catch up. And let's not forget, I still have 1,000 gold heads. Like, I can still upgrade this more. The other thing is, like, my opponents are very exploitable, it looks like, if you take a little bit of time. HTT says Brian is that guy. Sosa does have a good Canyon lineup. When I'm just like zipping through when I'm zipping through and not even checking if I have gear on all my marches. Sosa, because I know Sosa's a newer player, I sometimes think, oh, Sosa, this will be a good win for me. This is a good matchup, but Sosa will beat me sometimes. So Sosa does have a good Canyon lineup, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so we're up against Benz now. This is getting rough. This is looks like we've hit our wall here. We've hit our wall here against Benz. Yeah, we've hit our wall against Benz here. So there's definitely some people who I can't beat. I'm sure I cannot beat Uni. Maybe I can beat Sinzong. Let's give Sinzong a try here. With my new lineup, my lineup with Arthur and Philip, I benched William and Guan. Benched William and Guan. Let's do it like this. Let's try this. I'll look for you, Sosa. I'll look for you right here, Sosa. On my with my last challenge of the day. But here's Sinzong. Also has the Arthur. No Philip. Are we seeing the power of Philip in Canyon here? If we can beat Sinzong here, I think we're going to see the power of Philip. Staying alive pretty well down low. The Scipio, Philip down here. I don't know. Struggling a little bit. I'm the first to die. I'm the second to die. So it looks like I can't beat Sinzong either. The Philip not getting the job done here. We do lose to Sinzong. Yeah, not a ton of kills on the Scipio Philip. This is not ideal. Maybe I run Lucci Philip and Scipio Constantine? I don't know. Maybe. All right, let's do one more. We'll look for Sosa. Hopefully he's ranked high enough to see him. Doesn't look like I can fight you, Sosa. Sorry. Let's try to fight... Who beats me frequently? Let's try to hit Nice. Try to hit Nice. Nice is pretty good at Canyon, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Nice is tough because Nice has the 4 infantry and I've got the 2 calves, so Nice is pretty tough. Liu, Philip, Guan, Scipio. And bench Constantine, though? I think Constantine is so good in Canyon that we have to use Constantine. I mean, Nice is running Constantine Mulan, which is, like, wild, man. He's got Guan Hera. It looks like Nice hasn't done the swap yet, right? Doesn't it look like Nice has not done the swap with these commanders he's got? I gotta send out that alliance mail. This is close. This one's close. The Scipio Philip needs to stay alive and do a little bit more buffs. There it goes. So Wallace beat the Zug. That's the problem. His Wallace Lucci beat my Zug Herman straight up. So that's the problem there. I don't think we can win this against 2 infantry. I don't think we can win this. I mean, my Nevsky's thick, but I'm not hating on it. It's just like, it's weird to see it still in existence. All right, so so HDT was taking shots at me while that was happening. He went 1-1. HDT went 1-1 on me. But all right, we did pretty good there. We did pretty good in Canyon. All right, so let's talk about the other big opportunity that we have here, which is the conversion stones. People were able to get conversion stones based on the number of armaments they've opened in the past. There were some achievements. There were some achievements that people could unlock that gave... I'm not sure which one of these it was, but anyway, there were achievements that gave these conversion stones. I think people got up to about 15 of these based on how many armaments they opened. You can see that I've opened fewer armaments because I only have 10 of these. So listen, the most clear value strategy that you can use with these conversion stones, and I think most people should probably just use their conversion stones for this, especially until we play a KVK and see how many of these stones we get during a Lost Kingdom. But for this moment, the way you should be using these stones is you should be converting unused, not relevant special inscriptions to a special inscription. So I have this moneyed inscription here. I had a I'll show you what I did. Back when we had that armament conversion thing, there was some event where you could like convert an armament from one thing to another. Any armament that you pulled naturally, any special inscription you pulled naturally, you can convert it to a different inscription of the same formation. So what I had pulled was battlements. I had pulled this battlements inscription here, which is kind of an interesting one. It reduces the number of severely wounded units by 10%. I actually use this in the field for a number of KVKs, but eventually your armaments in other formations get so good that this is no longer useful. So I converted battlements moneyed which gives 7.5% extra resources after gathering, because at least this is useful for something. At least it's useful for something. Now, with these conversion stones, what that has given me and what that has given anybody who has a special inscription is you can convert this to a different formation. So instead of just getting 7.5% extra resources after gathering, what I can do is I can do something like this and get invincible. I can get invincible and then roll this invincible into something useful, right? And I think this is what I'm probably going to do, right? This is probably what I'm going to do. You could also get balanced from wedge, right? So balanced is like invincible is an amazing armament. Amazing, amazing armament, especially for rallies and garrisons. Balanced is a solid armament. Now, the other thing you got to think about at this point is with Delta Formation, right? With combo attack now in the game, Delta Formation is a crazy good... Steel Skin is a crazy good inscription, right? The wielder's troop gains 2% damage resistance, and then whenever their troop launches a combo attack, it takes 1.5% less damage for the next 10 seconds. This effect can stack up to 5 times. Now, if I were better at theory crafting, I would know just how often a combo attack is triggered by a commander like Arthur, especially if Arthur is paired with a commander like Lu Chi, who can proc an extra combo attack. So like if Arthur is primary, he launches 2 combo attacks every time his active skill gets triggered. Are there any other procs? And then with his expertise, he also has the ability, he has a 50% chance to launch an extra combo attack every time he does a basic attack. And again, Lu Chi gives you extra basic attacks. So I mean, Steelskin starts to look crazy good. Steelskin starts to look crazy, crazy good. Like real fast, right? The problem is I don't have any other Delta Formation, and it's tough to think about when... It's tough to think when I would build a Delta Formation set, right? Like, am I going to do it real soon? Or am I going to do it 6 months down the road? So this gets a little bit... It's a little tough. My decision is a little bit tough. And it's partly based on, like, what you have, right? It depends on what you have in those slots. Again, this is the flag slot. So let's just quickly go over what we have in the flag slot. This is my Nevsky. This is going to be like roughly what my what my cavalry rally wedge formation looks like. Strategic's not that great. It's okay. You know, this is a decent armament. Not great, not bad. It's just okay. It's okay. Because it's very good in the open field. Not so good with rallies, but I'm not like a big rallier, so, you know, it's okay. The other thing we have to think about is cavalry garrison, right? My arch formation cavalry garrison, which is this, right? I've got Desperado here in this slot. Again, this is okay. This is okay. The thing is, okay, so here's the other part of this, right? This is okay. This is okay. And then let me show you just one other thing. I'm just going to show you one other thing. I'm going to show you my wedge formation infantry in this slot. This is a super good armament that just needs an inscription. This is a practically perfect roll that just needs an inscription, right? So the thing is, if I did balanced now, If I did balance now, it would be a whole new, it would be like a whole new, it wouldn't have these rolls. Like, I can't, I'm not, if I change the moneyed to balanced, it's not going to have these rolls. It's going to be a brand new armament that I have to roll from scratch, right? The other factor here, Leo, I do not have Gonzalo built, actually. I do not have Gonzalo built. Chase me, yeah, I converted to Philip and Arthur. I converted to Philip and Arthur. The other factor here is that I'm actually pretty close to getting 8 inscription shards and being able to buy something from this shop, right? I don't think I'll have it this KVK, but I'll probably have it before my next KVK, right? So basically, I've gone from having no good inscriptions in the flag slot to all of a sudden I'm going to have the choice of 2. I could get 2 invincibles, I could get 2 balanced, or I could get 1 of both. And what I'm thinking right now is, because this armament is so freaking good on... Because this armament is so freaking good right here, what I really should do is I should get balanced from the shop, because then I can apply that balanced to anything I want to build. I can apply it to anything I want to build. And I could just put it on this wedge formation infantry and have like an amazing armament for the open field, right? It won't be good for garrisons and rallies, but it'll be amazing for the open field. And I just really don't have anything that great to put in the open field, or to put on like a... I don't have an invincible that I could really apply in an amazing way to any of these armaments, right? Like, this is okay, but I have to really, really re-roll this if I put invincible on it. That's a double inscription. I'm not going to replace that. This is like a very good open field armament, right? I don't want to change this. I've already got cohesive on it. And like, so I'm searching by cavalry, and you can see that I just don't have anything else. I don't have any good stats on cavalry. So an invincible from the shop is not going to be that great. Just not going to be that great. So I'm thinking I basically am going to use my conversion stones to get invincible, and then I'll just create... Why is this what didn't it used to pop up? There we go. Yeah, so I'll probably create a new invincible with these conversion stones, but I'm not going to do it yet. I'm not going to do it yet because I don't quite know how good Steel Skin is. I don't know how amazing combo attack might be. So I'm going to wait to see what other people do with combo attack before I make a decision with my stones. But let's see what I have right now with my combo attack. Because I haven't opened any chests with this, but I have... You know, I have been collecting these. So I'm going to just show you like a very quick and easy way to see what you have with a new formation, like Delta formation. Which is, you choose the formation, and then just filter by the troop type. Filter by cavalry, and see what you have. I already looked through these. This purple is actually better, so we're going to go with the purple in the scroll slot. Now we look at the instrument slot, and you know, I don't have anything that great. This looks like it's probably the best, right? Well, this is 3% of stats, 3.75, 5.8% of stats, whereas this is 2.5, 3.7, 5.7, 6.2. So this one's slightly better. It's brutal. This one is slightly better, this purple. This is a good armament here. Now, see, this is interesting. I mean, do you not have a converter? Do you mean like the... Yeah, I used it. I used it to go from battlements to moneyed. Yeah. Okay, so like this one's pretty good. So this one is like interesting, right? Because I mean, you could put steel skin on this. You could put steel skin from the shop on this. But you can't really... These rolls aren't good enough to put a steel skin on. Like, it would be an amazing armament, but these rolls are not good enough to put a steel skin on here. Algebra says no way. Was that so... I don't think that was so obvious, Algebra. To save that, I don't think it was so obvious. I mean, I don't mind it, because I'm getting something in this instrument slot. Or in the flag slot. I'm getting something... I'm still getting something in the flag slot, so... I mean, I guess I would rather have it in this slot down here, but it's like... Yeah, so I mean, so this is my best cavalry Delta formation set right now. Let's go ahead and add it up. Let's add it up. We've got 9.4, 15.2, 16.2, 16.5. This is like all damage almost. So maybe like 18.8, 20.8, 21.3. Like 23.7. So I've got like 23.7% of stats on this. It's like much lower than everything else I have. I think most of my sets are going to be like 40% or more now. So also went for Intrepid. Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to get Intrepid here. If I still had my converter, I would probably get Intrepid, but... But, you know, actually, I think my Intrepid slots are kind of better than my flag slots, in all honesty. Yeah, so, like, this is... I mean, I have Forceful here. Obviously, Intrepid would be better for sure, but it's not... This is okay. I can roll it. I can, you know, convert this and roll it more. This is good. This is good too. Focus Fire, some pretty good rolls. I don't mind having to get Invincible or Balanced instead of Intrepid. I don't think that's too bad. Just, I mean, I don't, because the thing is, it's going to take me years. It will take me years to get something else from this shop, right? It'll take me years to get another thing from this shop. Because it took me, since Armaments began, to get my first one. So and I'm probably going to spend less in the future. So yeah, I don't have the converter, but I don't think it's too bad of a situation. I don't think it's too bad of a situation. We will do one thing with Armaments today, though. Mostly I'm just going to hold and wait to see how good Delta Formation is. But we can do one thing. We can go ahead and do one thing. I know you're supposed to always wait till the last second. But sometimes the armament you have is good enough to just put the Hunter on it right now. And I think this is one of those cases. 2 perfect rolls, or, you know, basically perfect rolls. 1 almost perfect roll. Oh, I was looking at it wrong the other way. Yeah, I think we just go, I just think we inscribe this thing right now. Don't have to think too hard about this one. This will now be our best armament by quite a long way. Just got this Hunter inscription in the KVK we just very recently won. I had another top 10% or top 10 finish in our kingdom. So there we friggin' go. Very nice Hunter inscription right there. Nice. So the other things you can do with armaments, or with the conversion stones, like, because obviously at a certain point you're going to run out of special inscriptions that you can use. And Bus Driver actually made a good video about this, and I'm going to go ahead and link that in the chat just in case you guys want to watch it later. And he gave me a lot of info about, like, you know, he helped me. That video helped me think through like what I wanted to do. So I'm going to go ahead and link that. But he said the second category. One second. I want to make sure I have the second category right, actually. I think he said the second category was like open field stuff that you can convert to something really good. So like if you had smite on wedge, for example, then maybe you could use that, and you convert the smite inscription to a wedge, to an arch formation, and then it would all of a sudden have value. I don't think I have anything like that, actually. I really don't think I have anything like that. Like a good example of something would be like if this archer health was maxed, I could then convert it to wedge, and then it would be good for my archer march. This would maybe be another example where, like, well, no, you wouldn't want to do that one. Yeah, I mean, the next way to go is just like look through your stuff and see if there's some opportunity somewhere to convert something. I'll give an example. I think I have an example, right? I think I have an example. I have like really good siege stats on some formation, and I cannot remember which one it is, or which not that. Not that. Like if you have 3 siege stats on something, you could convert that to V formation and then use it with your ranged march, for example. Brian, remember when 27480 zeroed your farm and you crashed out? I lost a lot of farms in that KVK. Yeah, that KVK. I mean, I lost so many farms in that KVK that it made me realize I can't run that many farms. I'm not sure if I'm gonna find this, but well, yeah, here's a good example, I guess. Not a great example, but like this is an okay siege armament, right? And so what you could do is you could convert this to V formation right here, right? I'm not going to hit confirm because I feel like there's no other warning screen. But like if you have a bunch of siege stats, you could then convert that to an actual V formation armament, and then you get some value that way. Smite is another example. If you have smite on wedge, you could convert that to you know, arch formation or delta formation. Eldra says, I am considering moving my wedge set into arch. I'll have 4 specials in both infantry, wedge, and arch, but my arch will be stronger. Cyrus is saying filter my stuff, but I don't, there's not like a... Okay, the only other thing I wanted to say about armaments is it looks like the I don't know if this is a bug or what, but like we can't mass recycle anymore. Look at this. If you hit recycle, you get taken to this other screen where, yes, you can multi-select, Okay, you can select all from here. Oh, I didn't get this to work earlier. I think I looked through all of my stuff. I did look through everything earlier, so I'm gonna go ahead and recycle, I think. I looked through all of this, right? I did look through all of this. The only thing I'm not sure about is whether that hunter inscription is locked after adding the inscription. Sure it is, but... the filter options from here. Yeah, I can recycle all this. I've gone through all this. I put the Delta Formation stuff on Arthur that I want, right? Yeah, so the... all right. I did... okay, so basically you have to recycle from a different spot now. But that's fine. But yeah, that's pretty much that. I will make a decision about my conversion stones later on down the road. I'll probably end up doing Invincible. But we'll see. We'll see. Sarah says you can see stats. You can see stats. Oh yeah, this. Yeah, I mean, I was doing this. Yeah. Yep. But yeah, that's pretty much the progression of my account that I was going to do today. Definitely felt good about not having to reset El Cid. Chat helped me out on that. But now I feel a little bad because it sounds like Algebra thought it was obvious to hold that conversion thing months and months ago. Maybe I should have held it. The stones are expensive in the shop? What shop are they in? What shop are the trends? Oh yeah, you can buy the you can buy the conversion stones, but they are very expensive. Like Sosa said, the conversion stones are very, very expensive. So I really do think that for most people, the play is really to just keep saving these up till you get 10 of them, and then convert any special inscription that you can. Because what you can even do, like for example, I have this patronage inscription for the instrument slot, right? So like I could put this on, I could put this on like any armament. You know, ideally I would put it on an armament that has the correct stats that I want. I could put this patronage on an armament, then I could use the conversion stones to, you know, pick any other instrument slot, right? Like I could get... well, I wouldn't get one of these, but I would get... actually, never mind. I'm just talking nonsense. I'm talking nonsense. Because that would be the same as any other inscription that you convert. So yeah, I would just save up for 10. Like I would save up for 10 because every once in a while you do. I mean, look, I've gained one. I have pulled one special inscription in my life, right? Like from chests. All these others are from KVKs. But I do have this destructive, for example, right? I have this destructive, and so I could put the destructive on. This is interesting. I hadn't thought about this until this moment. Because I'm thinking about the steel skin situation now, right? What I can do is I could just put this destructive on like anything I want to put on. I can just put it anywhere. And then I could convert this to steel skin as well. Right? I can convert this to steel skin. Or no, not the steel skin slot, but I could at least convert it to another Delta formation inscription. Like I could get 2 Delta formation inscription slots just with this inscription and with this armament. So like there are reasons to just save up the conversion stones to 10, at least until we see how quickly we can get them. Natsu said you can get 10 of them per KVK. I heard 7 the other day. I heard somebody say 7. So here's Gimmy's going away message. I can't send mail right now, so other people ask, please relay this. I had some of the most fun in ROK in this KVK with you guys. I'm sad to leave, but life is always about trying new things. We'll miss you guys and wish the best of luck to all of you and maybe play again together someday. Yep. So Gimmy's gone, Natsu's gone, Algebra's gone, Barney's gone, Popo retired. Addie's gone, and I think Nolar's gonna leave as well. And I made a very big mistake and didn't. Uni was gonna stay for another KVK, and I made a very big mistake and just didn't notice that he was not registered. So Uni is also not registered for this Heroic Anthem. We are queued for Heroic Anthem. We are finding a match right now. You know, we had a pretty easy KVK last time, so we were just ready to jump back into one. We wanted to do one that was less competitive. We thought Heroic Anthem would be a slightly less competitive map than Britain. I think that was probably a good read, just because like there might have been some kingdoms here that I didn't want to face. I'll be honest and say that I didn't really want to face 1079, just because like we know that kingdom pretty well, and you know, if we had been in a KVK with 1079, I think maybe we would have allied with them because we're friendly. But you know, for years I sort of would have liked to have played 1079 because I think we would have done very well against them. We've basically gone from being the hunter to the hunted, where there were a bunch of kingdoms that I had on my radar that I thought we would do very well against, that we wanted to play. And now all of a sudden, those are the exact kingdoms that I don't want to play. So we'll see who's in Heroic Anthem with us. The next queue is going to be Tides and Stratagems, which I feel like generally are a little bit more competitive than Heroic Anthem. So we did jump in pretty early and do Heroic Anthem. So far, based on the camp or the kingdom list that I've seen with this Heroic Anthem, I think our decision was okay. We didn't register perfectly because none of us had ever done the domain system before. But yeah, we are going to be going into Heroic Anthem very soon, and we'll be very curious to see what kind of matchup we get. Yeah, Uni's not registered, Sosa. It was just a mistake. We did it at the last minute. We had to make a bunch of changes to get the domains correct, and yeah, just a really big mistake. He was listed as unregistered because, like, I think maybe some people thought he was going to be migrating sooner. I had already talked to him and knew that he wanted to stay for another KVK, and I just blanked on it. Like, I wasn't on the King account, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happened. Like, it was my fault that he didn't get added, and it was just a huge mistake. You know. It'll be interesting. The next KVK will be interesting. That's all I can say. Like, I think we used to be like a top A kingdom, and now I'd say we're like an average A kingdom. Maybe we're above average. Maybe we're slightly above average. But we're definitely missing a lot of weapons for sure. I just see this giant chain, so I'm just gonna do this chain right now. I can't like not do this chain. But I do appreciate everybody hanging out. Throw a like on the stream if you've not done so already. If anybody's got any questions or anything they want to talk about, go ahead and throw it out there. I did see a little bit of fighting going on earlier, so we can check out some of the fighting that's happening in other KVKs. I'll give a couple thoughts on the 960 2489 KVK. I guess I can start giving those now. I don't think we really need to look at the map to visualize that. I mean, that Kingsland ended in one day. Kingsland is totally controlled by 960 and their allies. I'm already screwing up this chain. One get hit? Did okay. Yeah, so 960, 188, and 1316, they won that KVK. It looked like they were going to win it kind of the whole way. 960 was dominating in their zone, and even the 188, I believe, was doing well in their zone as well against 1846. Look, I mean, if you're not in one of these kingdoms, you have no idea what's going on. Like, it's very, very hard to assess any of this stuff in an accurate way if you're not in the kingdoms. It's a whole different story when you know all the details compared to when you're just like watching from way on the outside, where I didn't really even watch too much of that KVK. And I don't know what's going to happen with 2489. It seems like they're probably in a bit of trouble after this KVK, where like if they really can't compete at all with 1960, then you do wonder how many of their players are going to stay, because what does the future hold there exactly? I mean, obviously they could beat some like very good Imperium kingdoms, and they could beat some very good A kingdoms. You know, they could beat like 1875. They could beat I assume they could beat 1365. Maybe that would be an interesting matchup, actually. I actually think the most interesting matchup would be 1365, who just lost, going against 2489, who just lost, and it's like a loser goes home match. In wrestling, there would be a loser goes home match where, like, if you lose the match, you have to, like, retire from the entire wrestling federation. And so, you know, that would be kind of interesting. I don't think that KVK was interesting. Like, ultimately, like, the 960 2049 KVK was not interesting at all. It seemed like very, very early on, like day one or day two of that thing, they were fighting in the open field. 960 put up very, like, pretty aggressive, like, confident forts. And people were saying, oh, 960 has about 150 active main accounts. 2489 only has 129 active main accounts. So therefore, it's just like, it's over, you know? Which is probably true. Like, that's probably true. That if a kingdom is as well organized as 960 has 21 more active mains than you have, then, like, you just can't beat them. Like, they're strong enough strategically where you can't out-strategize them. But I think it's, like, it's just a rough situation for the game, where it's like, oh, they have 21 more people than us, the war's over. Like, that's it. There's nothing you can do. They have that many more people, the war's over. Yeah, it just makes the game, like, all preparation, not much execution. And if you're one of those kingdoms, if you're at that level where it really is all about execution, because everyone has unlimited resources and everyone has unlimited speed ups, and so you can't, like, realistically wear down the enemy, then, like, you have to be in the kingdom that is the best prepared. Right? You have to be in the 960 or the 2377 with their giant whales, or else you just maybe can't they're just too strong for you to outplay them, is what that KVK felt like. I don't know if that's always going to be the case. But obviously, like, even 1093, when they went up against both 960 and 2489, they were basically on the defensive, like, the whole time. And it never really looked like 1093 could win that KVK. Didn't it seem like on day one that there was maybe a 5% chance that 1093 could win that Alliance Invictus KVK? And in this most recent one, didn't it look like on day one that there was a 5% chance that 2489 could beat 1960? I mean, that's pretty rough, like, right? Like, when the strongest, most competitive kingdoms in the game are in a situation where literally on day one of the war, one team is 95% chance to win. Yeah, that's a problem. I think that's a real problem. I don't think that's really interesting for very many people at all. I think it's interesting for people who like to have a lot of power and have like really, really high kill points. They just like to really dominate the field and like have like a great time winning. But for people who have like played video games our entire lives, looks like the music shut off again. I don't know why. There we go. But for people who have played video games our whole lives, where like most of the games we play, most of the really good games we play, which is like, I've played Quake 3, I played Dota 2, I played Counter-Strike 1.6. When you go into a match, basically it's 50-50, right? Like, if the matchmaking is good, especially in modern games like Dota 2, where like the matchmaking is actually quite good, you just go into every match and have a 50% chance to win. And then if your team plays good, you win. If your team plays bad or the other team, you know, just outskills you, then you lose. I think like longtime gamers are into that. And I'm just like looking at ROK and I'm more like, is this like a game of posturing now? Is this like a game of like, we're doing content creation and like people are playing the game at whatever level they play it at and they just enjoy watching content creators. But it's like it's a game where everything is decided ahead of time, but we just still play through it anyway because like the lifestyle is interesting. I don't know. I don't know like where the game is going exactly. And let me just check if this music is still going. It is, okay. And Sos in the chat saying you see Mad Achilles left mid KVK. Everyone wants to see 2377 beat 1960. I did see that Mad Achilles left mid KVK. It was an interesting situation that happened. You know, Mad Achilles has a lot of accounts, and and you know, one of his accounts was in 2489. It was at like a pretty big account in 2489. He had like 160 million power, something like that. All right, so there was fighting earlier, but it looks like it stopped. There was fighting in like the 960 secondary domain KVK. So it looks like there's no fighting going on in any KVK at the moment. Like we had a bunch of King of All Britain Kingslands yesterday. Let's see how many King of All Britain Kingslands we had yesterday. One, or maybe it was 2 days ago. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. We had 11 King of All Britain KVKs. Kingslands pop off 2 days ago, I believe it was. Let's see. How long ago this was. I would imagine Plato streamed it as soon as the gates opened, so it wasn't 2 days ago. It was like a day and a half ago, right? It was probably a day and a half ago that these Kingslands went on. Now, granted, it's a pretty small Kingsland. I grant you, there's a pretty small Kingsland, but a day and a half into these Kingsland, and there's not fighting in a single one of these things. And like we were saying with Mad Achilles, what happened was Mad Achilles was fighting for 2489 in KL. I think they got mad at him because his marches weren't sad facing. They probably had a policy in place where everyone charge in, everyone sad face their marches. Do not retreat on low health. Do not retreat on middle health. You have to sad face your marches. Someone must have seen Mad Achilles not doing that, and he was kicked from the alliance. I believe they might have seen a couple other people do it as well, and those people were also kicked. And Mad Achilles was just like, I'm not going to paraphrase him, but he was pissed about it. He didn't think that was the right thing to do. And so he migrated out of that kingdom, out of 2049 in the middle of the KVK, right? We're getting kicked out of the alliance. For like not sad facing, right? Let's see what Isaac says about it. I think he says Saturday morning the pass opened. Okay, so it has been 2 days. Yeah, so it has been 2.5 days. I guess they kicked him from Alliance because he was refreshing his marches while there were some markers up to fight to the death. He couldn't see the markers because they asked him to hide the markers while he was streaming. That's a fair point too, that he was streaming so he didn't see the markers. And like, you know, they might have been giving the commands in Vietnamese. I don't know. I mean, he probably wasn't on voice chat and he probably couldn't see the markers. And so they kicked him for that. Listen, I see both sides of that one. I mean, it was probably wrong to kick him given those circumstances, given that he's like streaming, not on voice, and can't see the markers. I think that's probably wrong to kick him. I would be pissed too in that situation. I would not migrate though. I mean, I wouldn't migrate. Like, I mean, that's kind of, I mean, listen, it's his choice to do that. Like, and obviously if you're a whale in a kingdom, right? Like, you're dropping so many gold chests. Like, you're spending so much money in that kingdom and helping like every single player. Oh, look at this. Addy Lloyd random TPs right next to the fort. That's crazy. Yeah, looks like a lot of the leadership in 960 is, or more of the leadership is being English speaking now with like Addy Lloyd. The Addy Lloyd team, I think, was R5 at times. Mools has been R5 at times during this war. You know, I know they do a lot of the voice chat in English, actually. So, I mean, I listen. At the end of the day, I think it's more a sign of that there's probably trouble in 489. I know that Forza, the YouTuber Forza, is also going to be leaving. I think he's going to Lambo's Kingdom. So we'll have to see what happens with 489. From what I heard, Pho is still playing. I heard that Pho was still playing. So, I mean, some of the leadership is definitely there. And I mean, I don't know, like this kingdom was so strong in like Osiris League, for example, right? Like they did so well in Osiris League. They were winning KVKs that were, you know, good matchups for them. I don't think 20 this is I don't know anything about this situation, but my guess will be that 49 does not fall apart. I just think it's too big. There's too many people here that like they would all decide to like go somewhere else after losing to 960. He said something about they told him he wasn't doing much in first zone, so I bet he didn't do much in first zone and leadership was already upset with him. I mean, yeah, so this is like, you know, like I was saying, like a lot of us have been playing games for our whole lives and we're used to like 50-50 scenarios where like we go into an hour-long match and it's a 50-50 scenario and we have to like play good. Look, like at the end of the day, like this game is being run by whales. It's being run by whales, and whales are all sorts of different people. They're not all lifelong gamers like me. I'm not a whale, you know, I'm not a whale. A lot of people in this game are coming from different backgrounds. They can't be lifelong gamers because they made a ton of money, and people who play games their whole life generally don't make a ton of money. So it's just like different, it's just different people running the show in this game. And I think a kingdom like 2049 is literally like filled with those type of people. They're filled with people who are dedicated to this game because like they're very successful at it. They have a lot of status in this game, and they've spent a ton of money in the game. But they, at the same time, they have like a totally different mindset than I have, right? Like they just are thinking about all this stuff very differently, right? And like, I can't compete with them. I can't compete with them because they're going to go into a KVK with 10 times more resources than I have. They're going to have 10x more resources. I saw on Force's stream how many resources he's used in this KVK. He used 86 billion resources in this KVK. 86 billion, right? Like, and it wasn't even that long of a war. Like, there was a lot of open field fighting and everything, but it wasn't like this was a pushed to the limit type of war. So, like, you know, the people in these kingdoms have like 100 billion plus resources, right? It's like, that's just a whole different world, man. That's a whole different world. And you know what, the main thing that I'm gonna miss, or the main thing that I will regret about 770, when we were at our peak, when Addy was doing his thing, and we had just like so many good players, the main thing I will regret is that we never got into a KVK against these top Imperiums. Not as like a main, not as a main alliance, but as like a 13-16. You know what I mean? Like as a 13-16 in this KVK, and just see what we could have done. See what we could have done playing our style against kingdoms like this. I wish we could have seen that, because, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'll end up playing. Maybe I'll end up playing against big Imperiums in the future. Maybe not. I'm really not sure. You know, I mean, yeah, I'm not going to get into it too much at the moment, because like we have a KVK coming up, and I'm very committed to this KVK. I know I'm going to have to do like a lot of leadership in this KVK, which is like the last thing I want to do, but it's just going to be, it's going to be necessary. It's going to be necessary to do. So, but you know, and so, you know, 770 might work out. There's a lot of leaders who have stepped up. And so things might work, and we, you know, we might get a good matchup in this heroic anthem, have a good time, and things might work out here just fine. But you know, I'm trying to not get too like bummed about it, because at the end of the day, I can be a part of building something new that is very, very strong, right? Like I am an asset as a player, but I'm also an asset in terms of like the group that I could bring with me. And so like we could go somewhere where we understand how to build a very good kingdom. I think most people have the wrong idea about how to build a good kingdom. You know, most people, they're like, okay, we have, in this war that we're just in, we had 30 people on voice during our uptime. Imagine if we had 50 people on voice during our uptime. Imagine how strong we would be then. And so they just like recruit to their uptime. I don't think that's the right way to build a kingdom. I do not think that's the right way to build a kingdom. And I think you can build something that 100% can counter that. So like, part of me is like bummed out by where we're at in this game now, where like Addy left and the game seems like a lot harder all of a sudden. But at the same time, I have to realize that like most content creators in this game, they kind of do like a pretty easy thing. They just go somewhere. They just migrate somewhere strong. Like they just migrate somewhere strong. And then life is pretty easy for them at that point. And so I have to understand that I can always do something like that, or I can go somewhere with a group and build something very, very good. Like go to a strong kingdom and just add to it. You know, like that can get done as well, right? And so that's like if I think about it that way, it's pretty exciting. If I think about it in terms of like, we got to do well in this KVK. Like to keep 770 alive, we have to do well in this KVK. I'm gonna have to do a lot. It's gonna be a tough road. Then life seems really hard. But if you think about like new possibilities and like the account that I have, the experience I have, and the network I have, then it all of a sudden can become like very exciting very quickly, right? Where it's like other kingdoms have flaws. Experienced groups and leaders are like leaving the game all the time. So I plan to keep playing, and so we'll just have to see what happens. Like in that sense, it's exciting. Like my account is like completely rounding out now in terms of open field. I'm literally going to have, in this next KVK, I'm going to have 4 open field commanders that I did not use in the last KVK. I'm going to have Arthur, Philip, Ragnar, and Huo. All 4 are going to be new open field commanders. So, you know, And I just got like the friggin' and I have a god tier hunter inscription now. I have a god tier hunter inscription or hunter armament now. You know, that's as good as it gets right there. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. What about 2260 with Chisgull? What do you mean? Well, Sosa, Fluffy Pony's the fighter of the year. So he must be a great gamer. He was the fighter of the year. I mean, obviously kingdoms are getting smaller, and you know, there's and like some of my friends are quitting. Like that's the hard part, right? Some of my friends are quitting, or I might not be playing with my friends in the future. That's the part that's a bummer, but the exciting part is like kingdoms are still not built that well. I don't think that many kingdoms play all that well. I don't think that many kingdoms play with all that much heart. And like there's a ton of quality of life changes, right? Like we got these new commanders. You know, King of All Britain is a very interesting map with all the counterattack damage and the artifacts. There's just been so many quality of life changes that we've now gotten used to that are just like a part of the game. So I think, you know, the reason the popularity of the game seems to be pretty steady at the moment is that the game itself has gotten better. We're getting rewarded with more stuff. I mean, look, I'm chaining barbs. I'm chaining barbs in the home kingdom right now. I'm literally chaining barbs in the home kingdom because they made improvements to the game that allow people like me to chain when we have time. Like I don't have to use all my AP in KVK anymore. I can use my AP when I have time. I just leave these marches out in the field. I just leave the Zoog and the Double C out in the field, and I'll just like chain a few barbs throughout the day. Because like, you know, I'll just sit at my computer to do other stuff, tab over to the game, you know, chain some barbs. The resource tiles are higher level now. We don't have to go on our farms as often to grind barbs. There's these events like the Melon Mart where if you actually pay attention to what's happening in the community and you do a little bit of theory crafting, you can actually get like really good value as, you know, a free-to-play or low spender. And, you know, you can compensate a little bit for how much spending other people are doing. So, I mean, yeah, we're pretty spoiled about the game itself compared to how it used to be. We got a new title bot. I haven't even looked to see what the new title bot is like. Does it work the same? Let's see. Let me try to request a title here. I pretty much woke up and I woke up very late, and this was one of the first things I did. So, all right, let me try to use the title bot. Let's see. Let's take a look. You type the title in chat in Kingdom chat? Oh, really? Well, I just did it in Discord, so I assume that's not going to work. Let me see if the Discord one works first, and then I'll type it in Kingdom chat. Oh, whoops. I shouldn't have opened that one. Yeah, I mean, I had somebody reach out to me today who seems like they're in like a pretty like growing kingdom, and they were like, You want to come here and bring a group and create content? And it's like, I mean, that is what, well, I don't know. It's very hard to talk about this stuff right now because like I want us to do very well in this KVK. You know, I want us to like give 770 a chance. This kingdom will exist in one form or another, right? So like I want to like show, I want to be part of a way for this kingdom to go forward, like as a smaller kingdom, as a less competitive kingdom, but still one where many people are happy to play, right? We always had it. Okay, so it does still work in Discord. It does still work in Discord. Because I just requested in Discord. But yeah, I mean, obviously that's like super convenient, right? Have a title bot that you just use in Kingdom Chat. Yeah, I mean, people are doing a lot of stuff, man. There's a lot of people who have really, really stepped up. Like, they've really stepped up. And so I have to be very, very respectful of their effort. Because, you know, I actually, like, really appreciate it, right? Because I just didn't want to... I couldn't leave 770. I couldn't leave him... I couldn't have Eddie quit and then be like, oh, it's for sure over. Like, we have to give it a chance. But yeah, I mean, there was not a ton to do today. I just wanted to update. You know, I wanted to do the commander swap on stream and stuff like that, and you guys actually gave me some good advice. I wanted to let you know where I was with armaments. I do have one question for anybody who possibly knows the answer. How do I get this? How do I unlock a commander in this event here? This gathering of heroes, right? When the event started, it said recruit 2 commanders to unlock Asher, right? So there was one dude that I could recruit from this. I was able to recruit one guy here, John Hunyadi or whatever. And so then it reduced to 1. Recruit 1 commander to unlock. But how do I unlock another commander? Like, how do I unlock one of these commanders? You buy a gold head? Okay, so I don't have enough yet. Right, I don't have enough yet. But I guess I have to buy a gold head? Okay. Oh, is it all just like really expensive? Okay. Well, I'll keep grinding. I don't know how long this event goes. It's gonna end soon, so I probably won't get there, but... Oh, I could spend gems? I could spend 50,000 gems? I don't know. Did Canyon Clash start? No, still not. By the way, if you are, if you haven't done this yet, you should probably register for Sunset Canyon tournament, however you do it. I think maybe you just have to play Canyon matches. I'm not quite sure. But I forgot to sign up for that last time, so. Someone said they bought a gold head and it went down. All right, sounds good. Sounds good. But yeah, I think that's going to be about it for this stream. I appreciate everybody hanging out. We got Philip, we got Arthur, and we didn't have to give away much of anything for it. So that is very cool. We will have matchmaking set tomorrow. Don't think I'm going to stream that, but I might make a video tonight and put a video out tomorrow. We'll see. I've got some free time. But yeah, life goes on in Rise of Kingdoms. We won our last KVK. I'll show you some videos of that. We lost our leader. We lost a bunch of our officers. And we're going back into Lost Kingdom in about a week. So the action will keep up. Thank you all for being here. Throw a like on your way out. And I'll see you all on the flip side.